Hello everybody, Boss Fister coming at you with episode 2 of how to stream like a boss using OBS to twitch.tv. We've already gone over in the first video how to get OBS downloaded and physically set up and ready to stream. So what we're going to do now is go over your scenes and sources, which is really the heart of what makes your stream look unique and was what is going to show all of your viewers what you're doing and, you know, what it is you want them to see. So, the first thing we're going to go over is your scenes. Your scenes are your different views. You can have multiple screen setups, and each scene is going to do something different, whatever it is you want it to do. The first thing we're going to go over is if you right-click on the very first blank scene that you have, you'll see you have all these options. You can order them, so once you get multiple ones, you can move them up and down to put them where you would like to use them. Probably in the order of which you use the most, or anything like that. You can remove it, you can rename it, you can copy them to an existing scene, and you can also set hotkeys for easy scene switching from your keyboard if you're someone who likes to use, shortcuts. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to rename this, and we're going to name it Test. You can name it whatever you want. Obviously, you can have a scene that is named Game, one that's named, Face Cam, one that is named Be Right Back, one that's named Pre-Stream, Hype, anything like that. So you name the game, you name the scene whatever you want. Now, to make a new scene, you're going to right-click just in the box down here, and you're going to hit Add Scene, and here you can name it again too. So we'll call that Test 2. So now you have two scenes set up. Each scene is a different screen, and it can show completely separate things or similar things with small changes. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to click on Test, and now over here we're going to click Preview Stream, and that's going to show you what it actually looks like. Now right now there's nothing there, so it's just a blank screen. So the first thing we're going to do is you want to add the game you're playing. That should be the focus, or at least half of the focus of your stream. So you're going to right click in Sources, and this add box is going to come up. Now, you have multiple options of what you can do to add a game to your stream. Most games work with the game capture option, which is the best one to use if it works. Some games, for some reason, just the way they're coded, maybe maybe they're cheaper games, maybe it's some free games don't do it. Some paid games, bigger games, for some reason don't work very well with game capture. So you have game capture, then you also have monitor capture and window capture. Window capture is going to capture a specific window, literally. And then monitor capture will capture whatever is on the monitor that you're capturing. Now, if you have a 1-monitor setup, it's going to show everything. If you have a 2-monitor or 3-monitor setup, then you can select one of those monitors to show everything in that monitor. This one is only good to use if you specifically want to show everything on your screen. The best thing you're going to want to do for capturing a game is either use window capture or game capture. So we're going to set up Minecraft in OBS for right now. So we're going to go with game capture, okay? We're going to call it... Woo, can't type today. We're going to call it Minecraft. Click OK. Now, this dialog box is going to pop up. And it actually already defaulted to Minecraft because that is the only game that is open. So it should default to whatever game you're using. And also I have to make sure you understand that in order for it to see the game itself has to already be open. So you want to open the game up before you get to this point. And then you have a drop-down box. If you got multiple things open, here's all the things it sees. So Minecraft, and then you're going to click Stretch Image to Screen and Capture Mouse Cursor. Those should be the only two things you really need to use. So you're going to click OK. Boom. There it is. Now, say you want this screen to be a little bit smaller because you're going to put things around the edges. You want to throw your chat in. You want to have, text below the game that scrolls, a follower message or something like that. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on Edit Scene. Now, it brings up the red line around the game to let you adjust it. So, you can grab anything like this. Now, the aspect ratio is locked automatically. So, no matter where you click and drag it, it's going to adjust the entire screen. You can also click in the middle and drag it around like this. So let's say for some reason you want to adjust the actual aspect ratio of the screen. What you're going to do is you're going to put your mouse on one of the edges and hold shift, just like, and then drag it just like that. See how it keeps, or it ignores the aspect ratio, excuse me. So you can do that just like that. Now, say you're playing around with it and you just can't quite get it right. You're like, oh crap, I messed it up. I want it to go back to normal. You're going to right click on Minecraft, go to position and size, and hit reset size, or Control R, once again if you're somebody who likes keyboard shortcuts. Now, it should go back to normal. Also, if you're using something that has maybe a border around it that you don't want to show, you can hold Alt and drag this way, and it will actually crop the screen for you. So to show that green line will come up, and you can actually crop part of the screen out. So, you know, you can go like that. And then you can even go back and keep adjusting it, and that line will stay just the way it is. To undo it, all you do is just hold Alt and go back till it turns red. Just like that. Easy and simple. Alright, now, sometimes games might start out this size. The easiest way to do this, to fix this, is you're going to go to Position and Size and click Fit to Screen, or Control F. And it does that for you. So, now you have your game. This is the part, you know, you want people to see. It needs to be the biggest portion of your stream, generally, depending on what kind of stream you're doing. Most people, obviously, are playing games. So the game itself needs to be the center and the focal point of your stream. So, we're going to add the pretty stuff now. And we're going to add an overlay. So you're going to right click under sources, go to add, and go to image. So we're going to name this overlay. Now it's always good to name your sources because once you start getting a whole bunch of sources, if you've got, you know, 10 different images that are all different things, naming them is going to make them really easy to organize and to move around if you need to. So it's going to bring up this dialog box, and you're going to hit browse. And you're going to go to wherever your things are saved. So here we go. I've got a basic overlay right here. Actually, we're going to use this one. So you're going to open this, click OK. Now, perfect example. This came out way too big. So you're going to right click overlay. You're going to go to position and size and fit to screen. And there's that. Now, Minecraft, we don't want too much of the game itself being hidden behind the top of the overlay. So we're going to click on Minecraft, and we're going to drag it down. Now, you've got these, you know, you've got this border on the edge here. So say you want to center the game. You're going to right-click on Minecraft again, going to go to Position and Size, and center horizontally, or Control-Alt-C. And boom, there it is, perfectly centered. Now, if it's in a situation like this where you say you want the entire game to be as visible as possible, even though you have an overlay, you're going to have these edges around the game. Now, you can add a background, so we're going to do that. You're going to go to Image again. We're going to call it Background. Click OK. Go to Browse again. I'm going to go to my Backgrounds folder, which I have at least one background for every game. Click on my Minecraft background. Now, it put it up here in the corner, and it's over top of everything. So first thing we're going to do, right-click, position, fit to screen. Now, you can move the position in which the picture is, and as far as the layers are concerned, by going to right-clicking, going to order, and move up or down. Now, this is one thing where I really recommend using the keyboard shortcut, because it's a lot easier when you have to move something a lot of places. Once you get a lot of things into your sources, it's really tedious to go and hit move up or move down every time, because you have to do it multiple times sometimes. So you really want to pay attention to control up and control down. So we're going to click on background, hold control, and hit the down arrow. And there, now it's behind everything. So what we're going to do next is we're going to drag this down so that the top of the image is at the bottom of the overlay edge. So now you got the grass from the little Minecraft block right at the top there. So you can really kind of tell what it is in the background. So now the next thing that we really want to do is you want to put your face on there. If you do have a face cam, obviously people want to be able to see you. They want to know who it is that they're watching. They want to see your reactions when you do something great or when you fail. They want to see you rage. They want to see you get excited. They want to see facial expressions. And that really is a big part of what makes Twitch so great, is that, you know, a lot of YouTube videos are, you know, how-tos and playthroughs, whereas Twitch, on the other hand, is they want to see you play the game. They're not watching the game so much as they're watching you play it. So having a webcam is a huge plus, and a lot of people will tell you that when they're looking for somebody playing a game, like say they're looking for a specific game, they're not going to click on who doesn't have a webcam if there's somebody right next to them that does have a webcam. So having a webcam is really going to increase your chances of getting viewership. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Add, Video Capture Device. We're going to call it Facecam. And it's going to bring up this dialog box right here. Now, it's going to show you all of your video capture devices. If you have an Elgato, or if you have an AverMedia, or anything like that, if you have multiple webcams connected like I do, they're all going to show up here. Those are all your video capture devices. So you're going to pick whichever webcam you want, in which case I'm going to use this one. And you're going to hit OK. Hey, there you go. Alright, so now, what you want to do is you're going to downsize this, obviously. And you're going to be able to move it and put it wherever you want, you know. If you have an overlay that has a webcam border in it, you can use that. You can just set it underneath it. You can set it down here in the corner. Do whatever you want. We will have a video later on how to chroma key your video so that you can have just you and not any of the background, which is actually why the wall behind me is blue for doing that. So, you know, put the camera wherever you want. You don't want it to be too big, but you don't want it to be too small either. So, you know, don't let it take too much of the screen up, but also make it so that everyone watching you can still see you clearly. So now that you've done that, you can go into your Facecam settings, and we'll talk about this just a little bit. I don't know about other webcams, but I know, especially with Logitech webcams, OBS can actually access the configurations of the webcam directly. So if you need to move the webcam, zoom in, zoom out, anything like that, you can click on Configure here, and it's going to bring up your actual webcam settings. So you can zoom out, zoom in, pan left, right, go back, thank you, up and down and stuff like that. The panning only works if you are zoomed in. If you are zoomed all the way out, obviously the camera can't move anymore because there's nothing else for it to see. Now, a good thing to do is, if your lighting in your room is going to be constant, like you don't have a lot of windows, you have one really good light and it is always on when you're streaming, then you don't have to use any of the right light settings or the automatic settings. Just figure out what looks best to you and leave it that way. Autofocus is definitely good, especially if you move around a lot. You know, if you're playing games that get intense and you move back and forth, autofocus is definitely going to help you out. And I'm pretty sure most webcams these days have an autofocus option. I do not recommend using the follow my face option because that can get really rocky and it just doesn't look very good. And especially if somebody, you know, maybe gets motion sickness easily or something, watching you might set that off because of the way the camera moves back and forth, that it gets kind of shaky. So you can play with all the settings, you know, figure out what works best for you. There really is no right or wrong way to do it. I have all of my stuff turned off mostly because I use a blue screen, so I need all of my lighting to stay exactly how it is in order for the blue screen settings to work all the time. If the camera adjusts its light settings, then it can actually mess up my chroma key for the blue screen. So definitely something to keep in mind. Now, the first thing you want to do is go to Custom Resolution. Now, depending on what type of webcam you have, depends on what type of resolution you're going to be able to use. So mine will do 1080. But once again, back to like we said in the first video, downscaling to 720. OBS is going to downscale your entire broadcast to 720, even if your webcam is in 1080. But I like to downscale to 720 because 720 looks just as good for the webcam. You really can't tell the difference between 720 and 1080 because the webcam is so small compared to the rest of your stream. So it's just a lot easier on your processor. It's a lot easier on the video rendering. It's just so much smoother for your entire computer, and it frees up some processing power for something that really is a minuscule adjustment. So you're going to go down to 720, and like I said, if your computer can handle it, go ahead, go to 1080. You know, max out your webcam if you really want to. This is just what I recommend. 30 frames per second. You can do 60 if you want, whatever your camera is capable of doing. One thing that might help you out, especially if your computer is just a little bit less powerful maybe than a higher end gaming PC, is use buffering. Turn it on, but keep it at 0. What this does is it makes it easier for your computer to process the video. It gives it just a slight, not even noticeable lag to the video, and it lets it render just a little bit ahead of time before it actually shows up in OBS. It's just enough to make it run a little bit smoother. It's something that's worth doing, and you really aren't going to notice any difference on your end, and the viewers definitely won't. You can flip the image horizontally or vertically if you want to. You know, you can have fun with it, play around, you know. Audio input device, you want to just make sure that this is disabled. It does default to disabled, but just make sure that your webcam is not pulling in sound on top of your microphone. Alright, so that's done. Now we're going to hit OK. Your webcam is going to adjust. See, there you go. Now it's a square. You can adjust the size a little bit more. And also, play with your resolution settings too. If you have a square webcam border that you're using in your overlay, you need to use a square webcam resolution. If you have a rectangular webcam border, then you want to use a rectangular resolution. And that pretty much covers it. Now you are basically set up. You are ready to stream. This is, as far as your scene is concerned and what the people are actually going to see in your stream, this is the simplest, best setup that you're going to get. And it really does look very good on the other end, and your fans are really going to like it. Now, there are a lot more complicated things that we can get into, such as follower alerts, you know, any kind of notifications, putting your chat in the screen, having slideshows, different things like that, which we will get to in the coming videos. So we're going to be going over how to add your chat to the overlay in the next video, which will be episode 3. So I hope you guys found this informational and helpful. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys at episode 3.
What's up, guys? Boss J-Man here. If you enjoyed episode number 2 of How to Stream Like a Boss, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button and subscribe if you have not already. Also, if you would like to enjoy episode number 3, which is how to install Better TTV and use it, go ahead and click that video that is currently playing in front of you.